I feel like this quote yesterday from Jamar Chase really makes no sense at all. And it kind of took me by surprise. So he was talking to ESPN, and by the way, Ben Baby ESPN, I don't think is a very smart individual, but I have my own stipulations versus that person. I think they're kind of an idiot. And my point is, he was talking to ESPN, and he said all this BS that was going on this offseason and prior to the season, I'm just happy it's over with. I'm finally playing ball and having fun with guys. That's what matters most to me. And listen, very happy. I'm very happy as well that Chase is playing. But is this not weird, like, to anybody else? Because, like, the way he's phrasing this and saying this would indicate that he wasn't able to do so. That, like, he didn't have the control. He didn't have the ability to go during the offseason and practice or go to training camp or do all these things. Which, again, I love Chase, but this quote kind of makes no logical sense. Like, he could have. He could have. And to say all this BS that happened this offseason prior to the season, really that came down to you. You're the one who chose to not participate and play ball and practice and do training camp. And obviously it all helped out to start off to our slow season. This kind of just took me by shock when I read this at first, because I'm like, you're like, what? Like, dude, at any time, you could have said, you know what? I'm going to handle the contract situation. You could have been like Trey Hendrickson. Trey Hendrickson literally said that he wanted a new contract. He didn't like the contract he had. But he also said, me not playing is just hurting my team. Me not going out there and practicing in training camp and preseason and all this other stuff is just hurting my team. His exact words were he was going to keep business and football separate. He was going to go out there and bust his butt because that's football part that he's going to do, and he's going to talk about business behind the scenes. And again, listen, I understand Chase wanted a new contract. I understand Chase was not happy. Based on what Chase has said, you know, it's really about the fact that Chase never wanted a contract and that the Bengals were the ones that came up to him and offered him a contract extension, which he didn't like what they were offering, even though he's perfectly okay, as he said, to get it done next offseason. But he didn't like the... Again, his stories conflict so freaking much. It's actually kind of insane, to be honest. I try to follow along with the whole MCU of his storylines, and it really doesn't add up, to be honest. It's... He didn't want a contract, but he wanted the correct amount that he thought he was owed. So he didn't process because he wasn't getting the correct amount, but he didn't want a contract, but then he did want a contract, but then he didn't, and it was all the Bengals. Yeah. That's like the cookie cutter long and short of it. But yeah, again, like I said, this is just a stupid comment. A stupid quote, to be honest, because at any time the man could have easily just said, you know what, I'm going to keep business and football separate. I never asked for a contract. I got 2 years left of mine. I'm going to go out there and practice. But instead, he refused. And now is saying that he's happy with the BS being over with. Again, like I said, it's like, what's that quote or that saying? Calling the kettle black? That's what this is. Bro, you're the one who had the problem, and now you're saying you're happy that the problem is gone. You didn't have to have the problem. You never had to have the issue to begin with. I'm so happy that the problem that I caused is no longer a problem. What? okay. I'm happy you're no longer being a problem, but oh man, that is the quote of the year. That is the quote of the year, 1000%. Guys, tell me down below your thoughts and opinions. Remember, I will be live on Sunday for our game versus the Carolina Panthers. Getting our first W of the season and getting this season kicked off correctly. Let's win our next 3 games. You know, I'll say one thing, though. After watching the Giants and Cowboys game last night, the New York Giants kind of scare me, bro. They kind of scare me because they just beat the Brownies. They went head-to-head with the Cowboys. Played a great game, by the way, against the Dallas Cowboys. And they kind of scare me. So we play them in 3 weeks. We play the Panthers, Ravens, and we play the Giants. And the Giants kind of scare me. But we also, I believe we play them on a primetime game, I want to say. So it's a primetime game. It's, again, just... Yeah, we're gonna have to really get our P's and Q's together, stop playing down the competition. We're literally being the Steelers about this right now. We're playing down to all of our competition, and it's killing us. So we're gonna have to start playing up to competition and start playing some good football. But I think we will. I think this week is where we get it right. Start off 1-3. Sucks to say that out loud, but you know, it's one game at a time. That's really what it comes down to. You gotta do one game at a time here, boys. So tell me down below your thoughts, opinions. Who does?